Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel, man. And today we'll be reacting to ranking your anime hot takes video by TK Reviews. Alright, I'm not gonna give my anime hot take until the end of this video, so let's just go through some of these. If somebody says it in the video, you know what I mean, and like I'm guessing he's reading from his comments, right? He must have posted a what do you call that, community post or something, and now he's reading off the comments and ranking them. So if somebody says what I'm thinking, then I will let y'all know. If they don't, then at the end of this I will give mine, you know what I mean? Make sure you're staying hydrated, chat. All right, that's enough of that. Where's my headphones at? There you go. Let's get straight into the video, boys and girls.
And today, so I asked you guys to give me your anime hot takes, and today we're gonna be going through them.
Oh yeah, boys got an accent, don't you? I'm sorry.
But with a twist, because your takes are going to be getting put on a tier list from F to S tier. If your take ends up in F or D tier, then you failed, and I never want to hear your hot take again. If you're in C or B tier, then your hot take passes, and if your take gets in A or S tier, then you're very valid. Now, with all that said, let's jump into the first hot take, which says JJBA has influenced anime on about the same level as Dragon Ball. Now, listen, JoJo's has definitely influenced anime in a
Hold on. As a matter of fact, let me hear what he says
like
first.
Jolene being the first female protagonist, or Jonathan being the first non-Japanese protagonist. But comparing it to Dragon Ball is crazy. It's not even a competition. Dragon Ball has influenced anime on a different level. Every modern shonen is influenced from Dragon Ball in some way. Like the transformations, the tournament arcs, the power-ups, it all stems from Dragon Ball. And look at the big three. All of the authors cite Toriyama as influence for their work. So strictly inside of anime, JoJo's just cannot compete with Dragon Ball in terms of influence. So unfortunately,
yep, I will give him that. I will give him that. His sentiment makes sense, you know what I mean? Because I'm going to be honest, as an avid anime watcher myself, I have still not watched any of JoJo's, bro. Like, not any significant
amount. Is this nigga serious?
Because it's just, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the animation style or the story or whatever, but it just is not appealing to me. You know what I mean? So yeah, I agree with him on this one. There's no way that JJBA, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, there's no way that people actually think that's on par with Dragon Ball when it comes to influence in the anime community. Come on, bro, be so for real.
Actually, I've got to put that in D tier, but that does not mean I don't think JoJo's is influential. It just isn't on the same level as Dragon.
Yeah, no, that take is getting an F tier for me, boy.
Damn.
I'm just saying. I agree that it is, I guess, influential because you see it everywhere. But the take in and of itself is an F tier, bro.
Because you could say hormone breathing, for example, might have influenced Demon Slayer's breathing styles, and JoJo's level of like fashion and detail definitely has influenced some other series. So I'd for sure put it up there on a tier list of being influential. Alright, the next hot take says that Yuta is not a bum. Now see, I'm gonna have to get the JJK fans to answer this question for me, because I'm watching this season so far and I do not see how Yuta is a bum. Like Yuta and Gojo literally cooked on that plan to save Yuji. Like obviously I know Yuta had to kill him in that moment, but it was for his own good. But of course the manga fans know more than we do. I'm anime only for JJK.
I am also anime only, so I'm not gonna speak out against the JJK fans, bro. I'm anime only. I don't listen. Mangas take too long for me to get through, bro. So yeah, y'all let us know with that one, bro. I'm not ranking this one.
So I don't know what Yuta does later in the manga, but from what I can see now, I do not see how he's a bum. He seems like a chill guy, man. I feel like there's some agenda against him. Like they're always making Africa jokes about Yuta. But JJK fans, let me know in the comments, is Yuta actually a bum or is it just an agenda? But for now, I'll put this take in B tier because I actually do agree, but of course that is subject to change. He might prove himself to be a bum this season. Alright, the next hot take says that Baku Deku is a toxic ship, and this has been a thing for so long. I hate this ship. Like these characters are clearly straight. Why is the fan base upset?
Oh no. No. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm just gonna leave that
With
alone,
making them gay. Like, I'm telling you, back in the heyday for My Hero, the fan base was so cringe with this shit. And it was the face of anime at the time. They made anime fans look so bad. And yes, it has calmed down now, but the shit was always cringe. So this is an S tier take. Alright, this next one says, my friend thinks Blue Lock is the only good anime about sports. You know what we need to do with
your friend has not seen Kuroko no Basketball, Haiku, yeah, Captain Tsubasa. There's so many. Captain Tsubasa outshines Blue Lock completely. And yes, it is an older anime. It cannot compare where it comes to animation style and all that stuff. But me personally, I like Captain Tsubasa more than I like Blue Lock. And I like both of them. Like, Blue Lock has a special place in my heart as a sports anime because it's a sports I actually played. You know what I mean? So, yeah, but your friend don't know jack shit about anime, bro. You should not be taking advice from him.
Friend, we need to shoot him. I'm just kidding. We're not going to do that. But we need to stage an intervention because Blue Lock is not the only good sports anime. My favorite is Hajime no Ippo, but there's also...
Oh, I didn't even go into the fighting animes, boy. Technically, Baki is a fighting sport anime. Technically. It's not traditional, but it is. Kengan friggin' Akira. Kengan Ashura, sorry. Akira. Freaking, oh my god, what's that one called? Record of Ragnarok. That's technically a sport. Because if you've seen it, you know why I'm going off to that technically, right? There is so much. Come on, man.
Slam Dunk, Karuko's Basketball, Haiku. There's plenty of good sports anime out there, and I think your friend might just be falling into this trap of like focusing on the sport itself. But sports...
No, what he's doing is falling into the trap of focusing on just thinking all the new anime that's been coming out as of recent years is the best thing ever without actually seeing the formula that these animes are, you know, adapting from. So that's all that is. I'm not gonna downplay his take because it's a decent take, you know what I mean? It's okay. It's wrong as hell, but you know, it's okay to think that, especially for somebody who's only recently getting into anime. Most people that are recently getting into anime, like around COVID time and after, are only gonna see the newer animes and are not gonna take the time or have the leniency to go back to watch the older animes and appreciate those for what they are, for their time period, you know what I mean? So I guess we can let him have that. It's still a horrible take though.
Anime are not about the sports. It's always about the character development. That is what makes sports anime so good. So if your friend thinks Blue Lock is so good because it's about football, you need to put him onto some new source that is an F tier take. Right. The next one says, I said the Shibuya incident arc was better than the Chimera Ant arc. Yes, go ahead and say what you're gonna say because I regret saying it now. Well,
at least bro caught himself. You know what I mean? He caught himself. No, as a matter of fact, let me not say that, because the Shibuya incident arc, was freaking gold. I enjoyed that. I watched that like 3 times already. Okay, but the Chimera Ant arc, bro, come on, man, come on, bro. There's just certain moments in anime that are unforgettable through the entire anime community. Even if you haven't seen the anime, you know those moments specifically, bro. You know what I mean? Like, for example, a big 3 example is when Madara showed up in front of the entire freaking Allied Shinobi Alliance or whatever it was called. I can't remember. It's been some years. Showed up in front of all them, just stunning on them niggas. Or when he pulled up on the 5 Kage and jumped them by himself. Solo jumped 5 niggas. He jumped 5 niggas solo. He jumped an entire freaking army solo, bro. Oh, and then when he dropped the freaking second meteor on top of the... Come on. He said, very impressive, Tsuchikage. Now what are you gonna do about the second one, nigga? Those are moments. Those are moments, bro, right? This was about Hunter x Hunter. I apologize. Another from that specific anime. I'm not even going to go to the main one, right? When Gon hit his power up. Nah, let's just talk about how Killua just walked down freaking Yuppie, bro. When he hit Godspeed, walked down Yuppie because he was mad and pieced that nigga up, bro. When mother freaking Netero hit that bomb on Meruem, bro. Yeah. I do not play about Hunter x Hunter, bro. That is my shit. When Kurapika brought that motherfucking shovel to that fight, bro. Come on. There are moments you can never forget, bro. Don't even try to play that. Yes, JJK has its moments, but it's just, oh my god. Come on, man. These moments specifically in these older anime will live forever.
He ain't lying.
Forever. There's no way. Because to this day, people are still making edits of that Gon transformation and his freak out, bro.
It's your self-aware.
Y'all about to get my blood pressure rising in this video.
Because the Shibuya incident is not better than the Chimera Ant arc. Now, of course, everyone is entitled to their own opinions. I'm not going to call you stupid for thinking the Chimera Ant arc.
Bro, even... Even when Go freaking posted up, come here. When Go posted up on that nigga, they was like, bro, we don't know if you're strong enough to come with us, bro. You gotta prove to me. And he posted up on bro and was about to wreck his entire shit, bro. Look at me when I'm talking to you, bitch ass nigga. He was about to wreck his entire shit. And Killua had to calm his ass down from killing that nigga who was supposed to be stronger than him. Are you out of your motherfucking minds? What? Y'all trying to play with, bro. Y'all about to piss me off. Y'all, hey, do not try to talk this anime shit with me and then you want to be making some bullshit takes like that. That's why some of y'all newer anime fans, my monitor is all the way leaned to the side. Some of y'all newer anime fans, like the older anime fans like myself, this is why some of us, I'm not gonna say me specifically, because I have no problem with educating the youth about, you know, what they're missing out on with the older anime. But these takes specifically is why some of us can't stand y'all, bro. I never understood it, but now I kind of understand it, bro, because y'all just be talking shit, bro.
Worse than the Shibuya incident. But if I'm being honest, the only real leg up the Shibuya incident has over the Chimera Ant arc is the pacing and the cinematography. So from a
yes, cinematography in the Shibuya, gold. Pace, gold. They actually freaking killed Nanami and I can't even say that other person that I was gonna say because my brother spoiled it for me.
Viewing experience is arguably better, but the fights, the character development is second to none when it comes to the Chimera arc. Like take Yuji and Gon for example, they both reach breaking point in this arc, but Gon's is far more iconic. And Meruem as well is one
far more memorable, far more impactful. Gon compared to Yuji is still a child. This nigga, how old was he in this anime? I don't even remember. But he was still a child, bro. Yuji was a teenager, bro. He was a child. This nigga should not have had to deal with none of that shit, bro. Killua is a child assassin getting tortured by his family because he's the best among the freaking his siblings, right? And they just want him to realize his potential, but he don't want to do none of that. He want to be a child and just do his. Come on, man. Come on, bro. Let's stop pretending like these newer animes just completely outshine the older ones because they don't, bro.
He's right, you know.
I'm about to make this video an hour and 45 minutes long just talking on anime, bro, before we even watch any of the rest of the video. Do not play with me. I take this shit very seriously.
The most well-written characters in anime. His whole personal growth makes him
The nigga was able to learn everything, bro. Reading the books, playing the games, and mastered it. Oh my god.
Multi-dimensional. Whereas compared to Kenjaku, he's only really just starting to become the main villain in the Shibuya incident. So Meruem is definitely a better villain in that way. And while I do enjoy the Shibuya incident, the Chimera Ant arc is clear. So I'm gonna have to disagree with you, my friend. That is going in D tier. Alright, the next take says that solo leveling is mid. Now you see, when it comes to solo leveling, it was one of the most glazed anime of
Alright, I'm gonna let this one rock.
2025. And don't get me wrong, I enjoyed watching solo leveling, but you've got to understand, solo leveling only has two things going for it: sick fights and sick animation. The actual plot, character development, There's nothing. So what Solo Leveling
Sir,
does well
we
and aims
haven't
to do
gotten-
in terms of having good
Okay.
fights and animation, it does incredibly. And most people agree that Solo Leveling has these things going for it, and that's what we're here to watch. Because I only watch Solo Leveling for those two things. But the problem is there are a lot of Solo Leveling fans who want to pretend like the show has more to offer. But I have to say, the show just doesn't have anything else. Now, of course, that could change with the manga, but for the first 2 seasons,
Manhwa, buddy. And I don't know if I don't think he has. Obviously, from how he's speaking, he hasn't. Don't worry, I haven't either. But from what my brother told me to expect from it, why he was so hyped for it, I'm giving it a little bit of leeway before I like completely just ship it under the you really ain't that good of an anime, you just got good fights and cinematography. So I'm giving it a little bit of leeway, bro. You know what I mean? I'm waiting to see what happens with these monsters that can just pop in and out of gates and his dad and all that extra stuff. So
I don't want to hear anything about character development or characters because it just doesn't have that. And you know what's even more evidence of this? The lowest rated episode of Solo Leveling Season 2 was the one episode where Sung Jin-woo cried. He finally saved his mum from his sickness, he cried, and the fans bombed the ratings. So that just goes to show most Solo Leveling fans know what they're here to see. Sick fights and sick animation. They don't care about the character development, they don't care about the characters, they only care about seeing their glorious king Orifang. And there's nothing wrong with that because I enjoy watching that too sometimes. And if I had to score Solo Leveling out of 10, I'd say it's a 10 out of 10 when it comes to those two things, but those aren't the only two things which goes into enjoyment of an anime, so overall it's really like a 6 or a 7. That wasn't a 6-7 joke. And I know people use mid as like an insult, so that's really like a 4 out of 10, but if we take mid as like the midpoint being a 5 out of 10, then me saying 6 or 7 means that I agree with you to some extent, so I'll put this in B tier. Alright, the next one says, Attack on Titan's ending was good, like genuinely bro, what's wrong with it? I actually don't understand the hate. Now the AOT ending has been a hot topic for debate since
the manga ending or the anime ending? Anyway, okay.
The show finished. Okay. And while I feel pretty indifferent towards the ending, I definitely understand why people don't like it. I think the first thing people don't like is the black and white ending, because it's pushed the main characters into this choice of, do we sacrifice ourselves to save the world or do we just kill everyone else to save ourselves? And while there's nothing wrong with that being the ending, it's the fact that the whole time there was a grey area around who's really right and who's wrong, but now in the end we've just got this black and white ending. And also people loved Eren's character in season 4, he was like the ultimate Chad or whatever, but then him breaking down, crying with Armin and dying in the end definitely took away from his character in some ways, and it also
no see this is what's gonna piss me off, chat, because people are acting like if they were in this position, like niggas in real life wouldn't do this shit. He broke down and cried in front of his homie, right? This is his best friend, right? Instead of crying when his own girl was about to decapitate him, bro. He chose to break down and cry in front of his friend over his girl. That is a thing that will always happen in real life. So don't even try to play that. And him dying was necessary. Let's be so for real. Yes, y'all are talking about, oh, it's black and white and blah, 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 blah. Obviously. Duh, how else was the story supposed to end? Everybody can't survive for the story to end properly, and everybody can't die for the story to end properly. Neither of those endings would have been acceptable. Y'all would have hated it way worse if either of those endings were the ending you got, bro. So let's not even try to pretend like this ending wasn't the best it could have been. Y'all are so freaking, man, you're about to piss me off.
Also doesn't really give closure to the story, because when you actually deep it, Eren's main goal was his freedom. So for him dying in the end and Mikasa killing him kind of felt like a retcon. Because look at someone like Lelouch, for example, who knows they're willing to lay down their life for their goals. Eren isn't really like that. He wants his freedom. So I don't know, I've always thought the ending was okay.
Yeah, but he also chose to use his freedom to focus, chat. No! Jesus. There you go. He also chose to use his, you know what, as a matter of fact, I'm not even gonna have this talk in this this video, bro. We can have a whole anime discussion in another video. I'm just gonna do that by itself, like no reaction to nothing. I'm just gonna have a sit down talk about anime, bro.
Hey, but I know there's more criticisms. People definitely have. There's people who can explain this way better than I can. But since I've always thought the ending was okay, I'll put this in C tier. I sort of agree. But I'll tell you this. Anyone who tells you the ending of AOT ruins the whole show is waffling. That's an absolute drag.
Bro,
the show is still peak. It's just the ending that people do have some criticisms with. Alright, the next one says Demon Slayer is the modern Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Not just because it's a great show, it also has a lot of things common with Full Metal and nobody sees it. I agree that the two shows definitely have similarities, but I'm not gonna lie, the similarities really stop after the hook. Because in the beginning, Tanjiro and Ed's main goals is to help their siblings get back to being a human, and they both have to join military organizations to make that goal happen. But the similarities stop there, because once you get into the main show, you realize they're completely different stories. Like, Ed and Ao's dynamic is completely different from Tanjiro and Nezuko's dynamic. And Demon Slayer follows the very traditional shonen plot with the trio characters, the fights, the demon versus humans trope, whereas Ed and Ao's journey is completely different, and even beyond the characters, the show's themes are just worlds apart, especially the deeper themes.
Please, stop making me repeat myself. Damn, excuse me. But come on, chat. I don't know how many of y'all. I know there's a lot of y'all that have definitely seen FMAB, right? But I also know that there's probably way more of y'all that hasn't. And that portion of y'all that hasn't more than likely has seen Demon Slayer, which is cool. You know what I mean? I fuck with Demon Slayer heavy. But I don't even want to do that anymore, man. I don't have the energy for it. I don't.
In FMAB, like religion, corruption, sacrifice. The show touches on a lot of things that are more in line with something like Berserk, for example. And Demon Slayer is generic enough that it could be compared to pretty much any other shonen. So while I do disagree, I think there are some similarities that merit this take enough to put it in C tier. Alright, the next take says JJK is overrated. Do you know what it is? I feel like any anime that gets super popular these days, people will immediately call it overrated. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, there's definitely people out here who are glazed.
Yeah, that
Using JJK to infinity, moving like it's the best anime to come out the 2020s. Like, it is good.
That's any and every anime with a decent enough fan base. Okay, so my thing with JJK is it's a great anime, bro. I'm not even gonna sit here and pretend like it's not. It's a great anime. I'm about to go sit down and watch the other episode, the new episode that just came out. So, great anime, top tier anime, bro. Right? I fuck with JJK heavy. Right? The glaze is, you know, a lot though. Like, there's still so many good anime coming out that are, in my opinion, right? This is my opinion, on par with JJK. Not in the sense of like animation and all that stuff, because not all of them have the same animation budget as JJK, but there's still a lot of them that are on par with JJK. For instance, Hell's Paradise Season 2. If you haven't seen Hell's Paradise, well, go watch Hell's Paradise. I like Hell's Paradise. I think probably even more than I like JJK. And I fuck with JJK crazy. You know what I mean? And I don't know. There's just so much that goes into freaking these animes when it comes to why I like them specifically, that it would just take too long to try to explain that to y'all, and most of y'all wouldn't get it anyway. So
don't get me wrong, but it's not a perfect story by any means so far. But I wouldn't go as far to call it or label it like overrated. I don't really feel like people shove this anime down my throat and say, watch JJK, watch JJK. Like, it's a good starter anime. It's in the same category as Demon Slayer, in my opinion.
JJK is not a good starter anime. It is not. There's too much information in JJK, and it's too convoluted of a power system for most people who are just starting anime, like it's their first anime, to understand. If you want a newer anime that's easy to digest, something like Demon Slayer is very easy to understand, or like I think even Shangri-La Frontier is an easier anime to digest than JJK, right? Or freaking, I don't know. What's another easy, good anime that's came out in recent years? Hell's Paradise. Sure, Hell's Paradise is even an easier one to digest than JJK. The power system in JJK is, in and of itself, is not complicated, but there's so many stipulations that go on in the anime and the manga that start undercutting itself. You know, it's just a whole lot. You have to have some sort of prior knowledge of what you're getting yourself into with JJK, I feel like. Because I don't think, but then again, I'm also not like some sort of anime critic or something like that. So I guess my opinion is just my opinion, but it is still my opinion. You know what I mean?
Easy gateway, it's easy to digest. But JJK is definitely going to go deeper with this season 3, and it has some very deep themes that I think a lot of people tend to gloss over. And people gloss over them because the animation is so good and the fights are so good. But the show does have a lot going for it. So I don't know, this take is kind of like between C and D tier. I don't fully disagree with you because there are some people out here who will glaze this show to infinity, but it is pretty good. I would recommend it and I do enjoy it. So I will put this in D tier. Alright, the next one says redo of Healer is the best anime there is in existence with the sole exception of Konosuba.
This nigga needs to get out of his room, bro. Bro needs to put the lotion down. And put the tissues away, bro. Come on now, you freaky ass nigga, bro. We know your kind.
Me and you both know this take is going in F tier. What are you even talking about? I know what kind of man you are. Guys, do not watch Redo of Healer. It's a weird anime. And the last one says, anime is better.
Listen, as a matter of fact, as your anime grandfather or uncle, right? Because I'm not that old. As your anime uncle, do not watch that anime, bro. Even us veteran anime watchers have watched that, who have seen that anime. It's like, fuck. And don't get me wrong, animes is not for kids, okay? Don't ever fall for that bullshit. Oh, it's just going to... No, it's not. Don't watch that anime specifically. Like, there are some ones that are just... Yeah, you gotta stay away from, bro. And that's one of them ones. You know what I mean? And... Hey man, same man.
With only one season. To be honest, I wouldn't really put an episode amount or season amount that an anime has to meet for it to be good. Because it's
what about one
season?
season?
I wouldn't really put an episode.
Hold on, go back.
This one says, anime is better with only one season. To be honest, I wouldn't really put an episode amount or season amount that an anime has to meet for it to be good. Because it's all about the characters, the development, the world building, the pacing. All these things come in to make a good anime. As well as the soundtracks and stuff like that. Because you can have a 10-episode anime like Cyberpunk Edge Runners that is a top-rated anime. Everyone loves it. But you can also have an 1,000-episode anime like One Piece, which everyone still loves. On both sides of the spectrum, the anime can be good or it can be bad. And the episode amount or the amount of seasons it has doesn't really play into that too much. So I disagree. I wouldn't say that anime is better with one season or having 2 seasons or 3 or whatever. That doesn't really matter to me. So that's the last take for this video. I'll put
where's he
putting that one in D tier, and it turns out I actually disagree with a lot of you guys.
Alright, we do not care that much. But I will just give my little 2 cents on that last piece, and then I'm gonna call it a day. You know what I mean? When it comes to animes only having 1 season, that shit pisses me all the way off, bro. Because you can imagine you're sitting there immersed in this anime. This anime is fire gas. You know what I mean? It's getting you pumped up, just waiting to watch the next episode. Click, 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 going through the episodes, right? Now all of a sudden you clicking and there's no more episodes loading, bro. What? You're gonna be mad. You're gonna be mad, especially if the story... Because let's be so for real, when there's only 1 season of an anime, most times it's probably only going to be about 26 episodes, right? Before, like when I started watching anime, it was only like 12 episodes, bro. Like 12 episodes, 1 season animes, and that shit used to run me up a wall. Especially when there's still so much more the anime could have explored, but just because they don't have the budgeting for it, they couldn't continue to animate it. That shit used to piss me off. But I digress. My point is, it needs as many seasons as it needs to convey a full picture. You know what I mean? A full story. Edge Runners did that. I really didn't like it as much as most other people. It's still a good anime, don't get me wrong, but I don't rate it very high. You know what I mean? But then again, I've watched so many animes. It's not as bad as Ninja Kamui, right? But it's a little bit just a little bit above that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's just me though. Anyway, that'll be it for this video, man. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one, boys, girls, and everything else in between. Peace.